Welcome to the beaches of Royan, here in France for the World Championships of Beach Ultimate. We've got a men's division game for you right now. Deutschland versus Francais, Germany and France. Tom Styles with you, and beside me, looking ever so lovely in the sunshine in this lovely French evening, is Mr. Liam Grant. How are you this evening, Liam?
I'm doing well, Tom. Obviously built for the heat, so I am. This is going to be a really intense game, down to the wire in men's Pool B. We see Philippines have guaranteed themselves top spot in the group with 11 wins. France currently sitting on 8 wins, 2 losses, tied with Great Britain and Australia with 8 wins. Germany sitting with 7 wins and 3 losses, so they need to win this game if they want to have a chance of making the quarterfinals, which would cause a 4-way tie in the group with 3 spots left.
It's a pool of hell, isn't it? So Philippines are safe. Germany desperately need to win this game to go into the top 4. France could lose it and still go through, depending on the other results, or France could lose this and go out of the top 4 as well. So both teams desperate to prove themselves here and take this game down. The wind is fluttering the flags on the far side of the field. Very still this morning, but picked up a little bit as the disc flies high through the sky as we get this one under the way. Crucial pool tie. The World Championships of Beach Ultimate reaching the business end of the week. Big pressure from the French rider from the get-go, and contact made. The 77 shirt of Becker, one of the players from Czech French club team, taps back in, and many of the players from Czech are here. 75 is Zennefelder. Kronecher into the middle of the pitch now. A short pass, making good yards here, the Germans in the dust. Jabs it into the end zone. Quick, early, clean offensive point from the Germans. No trouble, scores within the first minute.
Great goal, Martin Kronecher finding his receiver in the end zone. Currently the captain and coach of Wall City out of Berlin, one of the rising teams in Germany. Previously played with Bad Skid, but actually no Bad Skid players on the roster here in Royan.
Yes, Zennefelder was the receiver there. Kronecher currently leading the assist stats. He's had 5 goals, but 30 assists coming into this game. That make that 31 now. And the Germans pull to the French to get this their first offensive point going. Coming down the sideline. Open side passes so far, looking to deep option. Instead comes back for a nice reset and swings around. Beautiful work from the French, textbook stuff. Flowing well, just rising a little bit in the wind there, but keeps it under control. Now available on the far side of the pitch is the 19 shirt of Robles. He's going to have to get a high stall count reset at some point here. Floats it around. Nice work there, but tempted to call a stall out on that far side, or was it a push off?
Seemed a very fast count to me if that was a stall out. Be surprised if this one isn't contested.
100% sure. They seem to be signaling with the arms rather than indicating that it was a stall out or a fast count. So
I saw players tapping their hand on their head, the woofed up hand signal for stall out.
Stall out, okay, yeah.
So often ultimately we see that one contested. Many players naturally speeding up the stall count.
May have been some contact in there as well. Brettschneider is the German player involved. Robles, the French player. Germany in red. And a contested stall out is the hand signal. Quite right, Liam. Well spotted. Disc is going to come back in on 8.
Those 2 fists being bumped together. It goes up.
Big grab in the end zone. Great disc right on the button. Needed to be there as well. The 92 shirt of Troncy from is no good. Remontrancy catching that one and levelling it up 1 apiece.
As you see the replay here, wasting no time, arcing across the field, and nothing the German defender could do. Contested stall outs come in at stalling 8, so you don't have much time to play with. And we see the hand signal for a contested call as well, 2 fists being bumped together. And we said quite common on the stall out to be contested. And that was Bleschneider on the fourth. The coach of Frank N, who came second in German Nationals last year to Bad Skid. A couple of Frank N players on the squad.
Moira with the big pull to the back of the German end zone. They get it moving quickly, and France come down with a very poachy look. Here is it a zone? No, it's just a very poachy one-on-one. Big shot goes up, arcing through the sky. Wrench pressure, just enough French pressure. Didn't touch the disc, with a 22 shirt hanging around in the sky. What? Got his hands up, caused the German to take his eye off, or was distracted by the arm. Turnover. First turn of the game.
Yeah, that one a difficult catch under pressure. Also looking into the evening sun.
French starting from the back, working quickly with a cross-field pass. Fakes the outside shot, works it inside again. Middle of the pitch now. It's with Puat. Scuba over the top, dives into the tape, not able to collect it. Turnover back to Germany. Throwaways are not going to be the friend of either team here. They're not going to get very much in the ways of gifted opportunities. We're right on the line there, maybe needing to be a little bit more careful and take higher percentage passes early in the game for too much of that talk at the moment. But let's see how it pans out. Down the far side, centres it, swings back to this near side. Contact on the arm, 21 for Germany. Is Mushevek, the stat leader for the German team. 4 goals and 31 assists for the 21 shirt. Big fake down the line. Those two players connecting again. Mushevek centres it. Back to Mushevek again. 71 shirt of Martin Kronecher. Contact. Point is extending a little bit now.
Yeah, with those contacts on the mark, you can choose to either call the marking infraction of contact, which will not stop play but reset the stall count to 0, or you can call foul, which will stop the play and you come back in 0. So
shot over into the end zone from the Germans. They score it. Second time of asking. Tidy work in the end.
Germans opting for 3 men at the back, so 3 handlers as 2 cutters downfield, giving them lots of space. And we see the 2 main German handlers working it up with ease, isolating space in the break side and jamming it in.
Textbook movement from the handler there. Drops the shoulder as though he's going to throw the low release sidearm. Just as the defender bites on that, just raises his body up, raises the arm up. Doesn't have to do too much work because the defender has already moved the wrong direction. And fairly easy pass into the the break side of the end zone. So 2-1 to Germany. All on serve so far. Big shot goes up from the French. Chasing it down. Oh, he had a hand to it, but it's dribbled out. It's onto the floor. Clément Gillot not able to reel it in. Big opportunity for the French, but casual almost in his grab.
Yeah, a little too casual. Quinton Roger threw the nice hook as we see him there. Be disappointed in his teammate to not reel that one in. Roger, I often see him changing his pivot foot, playing lefty and righty at will. Really interesting to see him doing that.
Mistake back from the Germans. French have got it again. Becker played in Frankfurt as part of the Czech team. Jumping out bounds, tried to catch. Maybe he was going to flip it back over his head for a greatest, but or maybe he was pushed out there because it seems to be an infraction.
Yeah, there is a call of forced out. He's maybe saying that the contact made him land out of bounds and not able to catch the disc.
Great forward cut from Becker. Looking to jam it in at the front. Reset. Middle of the pitch. Options ahead. Great forward cut, but on the break side, evadable and found safely. Clément Gillot. Second time of asking.
That is the wizardry of Roger, who chose the lefty there. Had thrown the right-handed flick for the goal earlier, and the man will pivot off different legs, use different hands. He's quite the magician as he levitates this one into the end zone.
That was clever. High release, lefty, floaty with the right angle on it. He's quite the wizard, isn't he?
Yeah, you got to watch him as he often catches a disc. He won't establish a pivot point. He'll land 2 feet flat, survey the field, and then decide later which foot he's going to lift up, catching people off guard. Maybe many people think he's going to step out to throw a right-handed person's flick, but then lunges the other direction and throws a left-handed backhand, and really fun play.
Muskovec starting at the side, moving it nicely. The Germans, a little bit of a miscommunication. It was Kronecker who darted forward. The disc went that way, but he'd already turned and faked back. Turnover for France. There's going to be pressure under this one, but not enough pressure to get the turnover. Break to France. Heuvray is the scorer, and they take the first break of the game and establish.
In our evening game, I'm sure many people tuning in all over France delighted to see that score.
I was chatting with the coach before this game. They had training every month, and they've played 2 competitions as a team. The Confederation Cup, which they won, beating Russia, and then they played in Yes But No, a French tournament, and they lost to the French Masters team.
Yeah. They beat them earlier on in the group stages of the tournament, but then fell in the final. That French Masters team, very strong.
Goletsko is kicking this one off, and he's got the disc back in his hands now. Looking for options. 2 handlers lined up across the pitch. Deep cuts available.
We see the German mixed team doing this as well. 3 handlers back, 2 players downfield, a lot of space to work with. Terrifying for the defenders downfield, very much isolated.
And a swing available when they get the resets, which they eventually do. That's a nice fake. Has to use the short field pass forward. Eventually makes it down to one of those 2 deep players. Continuation cut is beautifully done by Kronecker. Contact on the play, or in the end zone. Starting to see why Kronecker has got such great stats for this team. Movement off the disc. Getting himself free. Continuation and flow, the key to this German side.
A talismanic leader on the field for the Germans. I remember when he used to play with Bad Skid at Windmill, he'd be so loud on the sideline, firing up his team, and not afraid to get stuck in. Looking
for that big around break. High stall count, sends his man to the dirt with a great fake, but still the stall count rises. Eventually manages to dish it off. Nice disc to Mushkovec. Into the end zone, and it's a score for Germany. But real French pressure, high stall counts for Kronacher.
Yeah, nice, beautiful backhand across the field. Gets them the goal. The French, really impressive, shutting down the handler movement of the Deutschland team, often taking them 2 or 3 cuts to get free, but never giving up on this, and a great crossfield pass to open up the space and get them the goal.
Just enough lift on that disc to carry it across the pitch, not too much to send it into the stands. See the coach geeing up the German team. It's Carsten Meinheit. It's basically a brand new German beach team since they finished 8th in Dubai. Carsten Meinheit and Thomas Brettschneider rebuilt this team from scratch. And so far, looking fairly strong in this game, but not quite strong enough to stop that French disc flying up pitch. Short of the end zone, not quite there yet. Roblet with the disc. And is it an infraction? Oh, it's a pit call. Low release, floated beautifully into the end zone. Hervé collects for France the comedy stunt fall to celebrate with the 24 shirt of Quentin Roger.
Mathieu Bozer getting the hawk downfield. Had a triumphant game earlier on the week on the show pitch, though falling to the Philippines. One of the top players in Europe, and he's showing what he's made of here. If I was ever to make a dream team, European team, I'd be throwing Mathieu on it first from the French lineup.
Who else would you throw in there, Lynn?
Ooh, good question.
You ever think about it? I'll talk about this point. Now, the difference between these two teams at the moment is the O-line. France scoring 100% of their O-line points, only 1 turnover. Germany only scoring 75% of theirs, and they've had 2 turnovers. So see if they can, German O-line here can tidy up that game a little bit. Kronacher, another high stall count. The French taking away all the options as they arrive. Cross-field reset to Kolschko. Advancing now, opportunity to put this one into the end zone. Back to Kronacher again. These two players, Mushkovec and Kronacher, involved at every point. Kolschko, sidearm forward. Low release from Schollen, doesn't let go of the disc. Stoppage in play again, foul. Michotet in the 20 shirt for France, explaining. Big bid from French, not enough to bring that disc down. Surveys the field again. Kronacher looking for options forward. Knife into the end zone and misses it. It's gone to the ground. I'm not sure if that was just a drop or if there's French pressure involved. Straight away the French attacking again down the sideline. Deep option available. It's gone over the head. It's going into the end zone. It's too far away from the fast running feet of Eric Becher. Opportunity missed for the French.
Yeah, tried the quick strike there, but those downwind hooks very difficult to execute correctly. Too much zip and gets pushed into the sand.
And shot coming back the other way here. High reach grab. Pressure from the French, but not enough to take the disc away from them. Good switching from the French. Trying to maintain pressure despite the Germans having field advantage for a moment there, but they seem to have got it back under control. Polsko darts it into the front of the end zone. There's a discussion about whether it was in the end zone or not. Kronacher adding to his point tally. Doesn't have very many points this tournament, but he has done. Eventually the dispute is passed away and they level it up at 4 apiece. Who's got this game in the balance so far from your point of view, Liam?
Yeah, possibly the French looking a little more controlled in offense. Each German point seems to be a real struggle, but perhaps that's how they play. They seem comfortable in the high stall counts and with just a few options downfield. The French showing a little more flair and swagger, but very close to call so far, Tom.
It's very close, yeah. The interesting thing about the French here, whereas you're seeing the Germans relying on quite a few small number of key players, the French have got 3 characters, different personalities. It makes it quite difficult for the opposing team to adapt to any particular French style, because you might be up against any one of 3 different French styles. Let's see which one we're looking at this time. Low disc, release, downfield, mid-pitch, 12, it's a big shot, up into the end zone, into the sunlight. Pressure from the Germans, but it's not enough. Poit brings it down. Sasha Poit catching that one high and plenty of space. And the great assist there from Roman Mora.
Very much a Shaq style of play there. Good mix of Shaq and Isno, good players on this French Open team. Now, probably the #1 French team, Shaq, current reigning champions. Isno good, had their limelight before that. And got to play them a couple of times in Europe. And French Ultimate just on the rise currently.
Yeah, there's three teams. Shaq is not good, and Frizzlies?
Frizzlies, yes, I know. Actually picked up a Frizzlies, maybe Windmill 2012, 2013. Ghislain Leonard, one of the players I would have played with. Really nice guys, were very kind to me and learned a lot from them in the style of French Ultimate I've grown to love.
Muskovec with the deep shot. It's going to go over the head. Big bid from Roble, but I don't think he really made any contact with that.
There's a lot to be said for just being on your man's shoulder, getting in the mix.
Mental D.
Yeah, you're always looking at them in your peripheral vision, wondering do you have to go up early or not. Attacking this, just get in your head, and that one gets on the turn.
French with an opportunity for the second break of the game here. Marching downfield, floats it into space, and there you go. They've put it in, maximising the advantage from that turnover. German errors starting to creep in now. French 2 breaks up, 6-4.
Yeah, great goal from my dream team member there. Nice IO flicks working up the field. As you see another one here. Dainty little one into space.
Yeah, the weighting on that disc was beautiful, wasn't it? Just enough stall on the disc. Downwind, as Liam was saying, very difficult to execute that accurately, but enough touch to float it out in front of the receiver as he marched into the end zone. Caught it. 24 shirt of Roger. Pings that one, it floats in the wind. Is it going to stay in? It is. It's nicely caught, and the French defense have arrived already. Quite poachy. Does look like a one-on-one and a call on the play, contact.
Yeah, I know these foul calls come in fast and quick now, and I'd love to see the players just calling the marking infraction of contact, still going down to 0, but just allows for the flow of the game to continue. But maybe they need to get this straightened out so they don't have to continue making these calls later on in the game.
There's a lot riding on this game. Kronacher and Becker just having a bit of a instant replay. Everyone likes the instant replay. Muskovec. Oh, huge shoulder fake. French not biting, holds their ground. Now Germans have got the disc in the middle of the pitch. Fast cutting from Kronecker. Muskovec. These two players involved in so much of the action in the German O-line, and they've had to be on the pitch a lot, been running very hard. Zennefelder, Kronecker. Mid-pitch. French completely taking that dump away. Forward pass it has to be. The only thing available. And again, the French face marking there, but to great effect. Switch up with Becker was effective as well. And a block. The French defence was all over the Germans there. They had no option. And a call has been made on the throw. 24 shirt of Quentin Roger turns back to his man. Can't believe that has been called.
Boos echo around the stadium. The French fans not impressed. And we see France trying to shut down the dump fearlessly, coming behind the mark, leaving the break side open. We saw earlier the German turning back around, looking downfield, and they're giving away that break side when they come behind the mark. This one looked clean on the first look to me, but it's hard to say. In that position, it's quite hard not to foul someone or hit the disc before they release their hand, and the way he releases it in kind of the backhand grip on the flick side. And now you see the French defender is standing directly behind.
Now maybe we'll have another chance to have a look at the replay of that call after this disc goes in, if indeed it does go in. Muskovec. It's getting a little bit tense out there, the two teams. French need to hold their nerve. Over the top, nicely done in the end. Pops in for a point for the Germans, getting back within one, 6-5.
Yeah, a lot of stoppages that point. Not the flowing ultimate we like to see, but good offense nonetheless from the Germans. Needed to bring it back to within one.
Let's have a look at that replay of the... See, Roger just looking away from the disc, marking the player, goes all the way around for a second time, does a full lap, and then here we go.
Looks like a foul to me. Looks like
really
the disc is not released from his hand. Yeah, that's hard to say, yeah.
It's so difficult to call it, isn't it?
We have our video referee in my ear telling me it was a strip. We'll leave it up to you at home to make your decision, but players on the field agreeing with the video ref.
Even with the best technology in the world, it's still very, very difficult to make these calls. French with an 0 point in the middle of the pitch. Puat out to this near side, looking for a deep shot. Floats it into the end zone, running it down, using the foot speed to get down there. Sacha Puat adding up the stats in this game already. Impressive stuff from the French. Great use of pace. Floated the disc up, all it needed. And it's that continuation handler cut. And the assist from Frédéric Bredor.
Great goal. He was off quicker than my prom tuxedo. No stopping him. Great pace there from the Frenchman.
Now it's half time, so we're just going to take a short break here for these messages.
Catch it early. Help us teach kids about cancer symptoms through
Oh, welcome back. Second half has just got going. No stoppage for the half. They just change ends. And the French have got the disc to kick off second half of this game. You're listening to Tom Stiles and Liam Grant from the World Championships of Beach Ultimate. France and Germany in this critical pool game. Both teams needing it to guarantee a spot in the top 4 in the pool, so as they can advance into the next stage of the tournament with a good seeding. Middle of the pitch. French knocking on the door, and a great start to the second half. They extend their lead. They have this one by 8-5 now. Team in white dominating against the Germans.
And that was a tough blow for the Germans. They wouldn't want to come out fired up for that one. But the French doing well to take their downwind 0 point and stretch this lead to 3.
Open side pass after open side pass.
Mathieu Bozet there with the goal. Matched up against him a couple of times. Didn't go so well for me, and not going so well for the Germans here either. He is a fantastic player.
Rapid feet. Wonderful beard and hat combo as well. Roger. Disc is landing short of the end zone, bobbling in and picked up for the Germans. Deep shot straight away, floating in the sky. Going to be no pressure underneath this. He catches just short of the end zone. Dumped back. Zenderfelder, and into the end zone it goes. Who was that big put, the big hockey assist there, Liam?
Absolutely no idea, Tom, but I'm sure we'll see in the replay. Great end zone offense from Germans there when they landed short. That's what I like to see. You do a little dish back and then score yourself. That's what you coach. A lot of people here will rush that end zone throw, trying to bang it in straight away. We always tell our teammates, no, hit the dump and then go score again if you land short. You're often a player that's left open and not thought about.
Yeah, Jan Schollen, 53 shirt for Germany, making sure of that. He had the receiving of that big disc down pitch. A little dart back, scored. And the assist. I'm getting my rosters mixed up. That was the French point. Muskovec was the big assist in the previous point. Roman Maurer was the point there for French. The assist from Piwot. Great running. Oh, this game couldn't be any closer. Hope wherever you are in the world you're enjoying the live coverage here from the beaches at Royan.
Everything on the line now for this Deutschland team. Going to have to dig deep if they want to stay in this competition. Good then Roger pulling now for the French.
As disc is out of the side of the pitch. It's the first, is it that the first bricked pull we've had in this game?
Yeah, most teams this week opting for the bladey pull, which is far more easy to stay in bounds. That one though, look, going for the floater that just drifts into downtown Royan.
Muskovec cutting back for him is Kronacher. He has the disc now. Muskovec. These O-line handlers confident and comfortable on the disc, but under a lot of pressure from the French defense, taking away the downfield options. They're having to do a lot more work themselves. Again we see big disc floated out ahead of the German receiver. One-handed grab, just tiptoes out of his hand. He got the fingertip of his middle finger to that one. Couldn't wrap his hands around it.
Stefan Doscher going maybe with the more difficult arm there as it trails across his body. Tries to get his left hand onto it. Looked like a really nice hook when it first went up. Good feet here from the German player who riles up that backhand. Shoots to the end zone. Doscher, yeah, just kind of falling into this, kind of slaps out of his hands and shows his frustration.
He knows he's gone with the wrong hand, I think. We're reenacting that catch in our commentary booth. Big disc here from the French to put this one away. Such strong work from the French. End zone to end zone, the pass. And that is a huge point for the French. They extend their lead, 10-6, 4-point margin. They've really put the pressure onto the Germans with that.
And that is classic Roger, showing a left-handed hook there. You may think he's going to come out as a right-handed player, but switches it up. Gives himself lots of space to send that one the whole length of the field.
That's a phenomenal disc. I don't care which arm is used. That's a brilliant disc. Look at the float, the timing, the position, front corner of the end zone. All the receiver has to do is get there.
Yeah, that's the one you'd be praying for from your handlers. Catch it in stride. Made it easy for him. Great play from the French here. And when the French are on form and have a skip in their step, a terrifying outfit to go up against.
Well, they've had big wins this week, the French team. They're beating Great Britain 13-9. In fact, both these teams had a very good game against Great Britain. French beating them 13-9. The Germans were up 12-9, but eventually
12-8 even.
12-8.
I watched the whole thing unfold. GB almost went back-to-back losses after losing to Ireland in their opening game, and were 12-8 down, brought all the way back to 13-12, and GB kind of steadied the ship from then, although losing to France, and saw France demolish Ireland this afternoon, 13-4, setting them packing.
They've been a bit of a bogey team, the Irish, for Great Britain for a while.
Yeah,
beat them at Windmill as well. Anyway, that result I don't think will have an impact on this pool.
I won't be so sure now. Again, GB tying with wins with France and Australia currently. France may pull ahead of them, so this game will affect them. I still think they'll get to quarters, but might end up playing USA.
Kronacher for Germany. Nice disc forward. Great cut for back there from Sennevelde. Into the end zone, just wraps his hand around it. Incredible work from Doscher. Stefan Doscher in the 37 shirt. That disc looked like it was going to die in the sand. Incredible effort there from the Germans.
Yeah, Doscher sells him on the early attack and then fades back. Almost boxed out too much and let himself a lot to do, but able to get his hand to it this time.
Now, the textbook says do not lay out like this. This is how you break your shoulder. But
that's what I'd say on grass, where you want to slide and land on your chest, but on sand,
you can get away with it.
It's almost, I think, even better to kind of roll on your shoulder, because if you try and slide, you're not gonna. I see a lot of people jar their neck as they kind of almost get this whiplash action. I think on sand, often better to do a bit of a pirouette in the air.
Yeah, Kate, our commentary stats assistant, did just that yesterday in a bit of a throw around at the end of play. Really hurt herself. French have got the disc now. Floaty across the far side of the pitch is a poor choice. Just about kept alive. Quickly moved straight away downfield. Lasered it across the end zone. And the French seemingly unstoppable, rescuing that disc from within an inch of the sand. 3 passes later across the other side of the end zone for the point. and they have maintained their 4-point lead.
Yeah, the Germans with a lot to do here. We've seen them being very strong, powerful unit across many divisions in Europe. They also, we know, Inside Raketic, kind of development team out of Germany, made up of mostly national team players, will be going to the US Open later on this year and have done so in the past. Often trying to get to the US to get a bit of a benchmark on what level ultimate they're able to play and to improve themselves.
Big pull to start this. Point. Gone deep into the end zone, rolled out the back. Pull from Roger. The French taking this game away from the Germans at the moment. They lead it 11-7. Might be the end of the road for the German team in this competition if they can't pull this one back. Throwing everything at it. But the French pressure never comes off. Pings the knife side to side. Kolechko with the disc on the sideline. Coming back. Kolechko coming back again. Again we see these two players. Big disc now from Kronecker into the end zone. It's scored by the Germans. And again we see Stefan Doscher stretching his legs, getting some separation from his defender and not giving up on this game yet.
Such hard work being put in by the two German cutters, and I'm still indecisive about this handler set of three players because it really narrows your throwing lanes. With two men either side of you, allows the French the opportunity to poach off, but the Germans doing well to throw over that one and use the height and speed of Stefan effectively.
Well, they trail, and they're going to need to get turns. Have they had any turns yet? So this is the German, the French. So the German D line. Germany D have had one turnover over off the French so far this game. Doesn't bode well at this stage in the game. Bosser, the 23 shirt for France. Looking for the dump pass. Good pressure from the Germans here. They might finally get some action, but the disc is inside out, floated in the end zone. Bosser underneath it. He takes it high. What a grab from the Frenchman. The hat comes off the back of the head, but he doesn't give a monkeys about that. He's got the point. They're moving within one of the victory. Impressive stuff from the French. Even under this German pressure, they're going to score points like that.
Never doubted the man for 1 second. I like how he took his time to adjust his hat. Doesn't want it to weigh him down. Get a clear view of the disc and gets up early. There he goes. Gets some sun on that head and gets up in the air.
Superb athleticism, great timing, and a great disc from Troncy as well. Waits, watches, drops the shoulder, beautifully weighted inside out, but what a grab that is. Right from the top, at the maximum elevation he could take it. Watch and learn, kids.
Yeah, learn to jump like that and then learn to grow a beard like that. I can do neither, I'm afraid.
You can't teach tall. So the French looking to turn the Germans here to take this game. It's 12-8. Essentially, this is going to knock the German team out of the championship if they lose this one. Pressure building. Kronecker. Middle of the pitch now. Snaps a short little sidearm forward. Gets the reset. Kolechko. Cronaher again. A little bit floaty. Caught one-handed by Bosser. Sorry, not Bosser, 37. Doscher. Kolechko. Middle of the pitch. Doscher again. A little bit of a blow on the back from Becher. And they shrug that off. Call on the field. Was the call on the far side of the field? Get us a little bit of a reenactment there from Roger.
Nice dance moves.
It's going to come back in the middle of the park.
Germans now with a 4-man handler line in the back and 1 man in the end zone.
Cronaher. The French seem to be quite comfortable defending this German attack. Forcing them back now, Cronaher. Into the dirt. French with an opportunity to take this game. They've managed to consistently turn over the German offensive line. And a timeout has been called by the French right at that critical moment. All the way through this tournament, the players, Mushkovec and Cronaher, have had their run of the handling positions. They've scored 61 points before this game. And if you'd like to watch some more Ultimate, fanseat.com have got plenty more coverage of Fields 2 and 3 here at the World Championships of Beach Ultimate. Fanseat.com offering a free month subscription. And there's lots of other Ultimate action from across the UK and across the rest of Europe. They're bringing a lot of different tournaments to you. It's a great value for money package, and they're supporting the sport of Ultimate. So go and check out what Fanseat are doing. They've got all of Pitch 2 and 3. Liam, you've been doing a couple of games over there as well.
Yeah, a lot of fun on Pitch 2 and 3, and debatably the close 2 and 3, and debatably the closer games. They've recorded 2 USA losses now in the mixed division. Sweden beating them, I think yesterday, 13-12, or 12-11 should I say, and then Philippines with the crazy comeback, 8-2 down, gets 7 on the trot against the USA mixed team. So you can still get those games on demand as well, so lots on offer from Fanseat.
So who doesn't enjoy the watching the Americans being beaten by the Philippines? I'm getting punched by our analyst next to us. We just like watching a good Ultimate, and you know, a 7-point comeback is pretty exceptional. 7 points without response against one of the best mixed teams on the planet. Mushkovec is on the mark, but he cannot stop the French. Into the end zone for the game here, chasing this one down. It's drifting away from him. Is it out of the back? Is there a call on the play? The running stops out of the back of the end zone. Yeah, that tape is a long way from the barrier. We're quite low down in our commentary position here. Difficult to see the exact position. Maybe you've got a better view on the cameras. Crossfield pass. Cronacher again. Again, the deep options are being taken away by fast French defense. Cronacher once more.
You see the French players clogging the lane there as well. If they're marking the handlers, letting them swing, but trying to shut down Cronacher in particular.
There's got to be a mention to Michotet, who's done such a great job closing him down for the start of this point. Jogging back now. It's a bit of a switch. Deep shot goes up. Cronacher's going to be taking the deep option. Took himself out of that position. Really smart play from the German. Realised he was getting marked out when he was handling. Going to take a bit of a stroll up the pitch myself. Scores that point. But now the big challenge to the Germans. Can they turn the French, which they've so far failed to do only once in this game? And can they score the 4 points in a row that they need to pull this game back?
Yeah, big task on hand for the Germans, but as you can see there, capable of playing fantastic ultimate. They have the wind at their favour for this one, so let's see if they can dig deep.
It's been touch and go, very, very tight game. There's been no more than 2-point runs is the maximum we've had throughout this game. French got their first break at 2-3, got another break to make it 4-6, and another one to make it 6-10. 10-6. Huge bid from the Germans, gets horizontal. A complaint from the French just when we needed something exciting to happen from this German line. Out comes the outstretched hand of the 26th shirt of Julian Usa. Gets the touch. What's your view from that replay, Liam?
Yeah, on first inspection on ground level, I thought it was a great bid and a clean D, but even difficult to tell on the replay if he got the hand to it.
Frédéric Bredar is the French player involved. Usa, is the German player involved. It's the first really effective horizontal bid we've seen from the Germans. Let's have a look at that again. He looked like he'd got contact from the arm and the body before the disc arrived. I don't think there's much he can complain about the foul call. It's contested. It's going to go back.
Yeah, from that angle, looks like he did initiate some contact. Again, they don't have the benefit of the slow motion replay. Good effort nonetheless from Julian.
This time, the French looking to put this game to bed. Take their place as the second seed in this pool. Oh, disc over the top. French keeping it alive with incredible diving work from the 22 shirt of Puwat. And is he injured? Has there been an injury in there? Was there a clash between the players as they ran towards that disc? Puwat looked like he's collected it neatly. That's not what the conversation is about. Generally, when the French and German teams have these discussions, they have them in English, which is helpful for us. It's going to be dabbed back in. Puwat with the disc. Drop of the shoulder. Break to the far side. Into the back of the end zone. The French have got it, cementing their place in this really mixed up pool by beating the German team. They're second place behind the Philippines after an incredible performance, stifling the Germans' offense and beating them comfortably in the end. 13-9. Incredible game, Liam.
Yeah, glory for France and notably Australia. They'll be glad of this result. Brilliant performance. The home team were fantastic all day today in this game and earlier on. Wouldn't like to be going up against them in the quarterfinals because their tails are in the air. They are full of flair and delight as they see the teammates hugging each other in a well-deserved win.
Impressive French performance under the sunshine out here in Royan. The West Coast, France has hosted a fantastic tournament. It's been a hot day. The evening sun sets as the fans in the stand start to make their way over towards the main tournament tent, where there's going to be a trade night tonight. So people are swapping their shirts with people and really bringing together players from all over the world into this community of Ultimate. As we see some of the action from this game, a real treat of a performance to watch from the French, completely taking away the options for the Germans. Tremendous athleticism from both teams, and those few scruffy calls that we saw at the start largely disappearing towards the end of the game. Great grabs there from the high rising Boss Air. So until the next streaming coverage we've got, it's a big thank you for watching from me, Tom Stiles.
And myself, Liam Grant.
We hope you'll join us again for more action here from the World Championships of Beach Ultimate.
Vous pouvez applaudir les deux équipes.